Hey everyone, welcome back to another farm video. Today we are going to be building an easy moss farm for your Minecraft world. This farm will produce 2,700 moss per hour. It will also produce 1,200 moss carpet, 350 azalea, and 250 flowering azalea per hour. So everyone, grab your blueprints, grab your mouses, and let's head over to where we are going to start building this farm. Now that we are at our build site, let's open our blueprint and take a look at the resources we are going to use. These resources here can be any building block of your choice. I just use these blocks to make the farm look a little bit better. So we are going to need a total of 118 deep slate bricks, 69 glass, 64 dirt, 64 bone blocks, 64 torches, 25 redstone, 21 repeaters, 14 hoppers, 12 chests, 12 stone, 10 deep slate brick stairs, 9 obsidian, 9 moss blocks, 7 redstone torches, 6 sticky pistons, 4 pistons, 1 comparator, 1 lever, 1 dispenser, 1 observer, 1 slime block, and 2 buckets of water and a bucket of lava. Now that we know the resources we are going to use, let's put our blueprint in our back pocket, put our nail bags on, and let's build this farm. The total area of the moss farm is a 10 by 17 area, so please take this into account before you construct this farm. You want to start by placing 3 double chests on top of each other. You'll then want to place a piece of obsidian here, and then bring out that obsidian 4 more blocks. So that obsidian should be a total of 5 blocks, and then at the end of that obsidian, we want to place 3 more double chests on top of each other. We now want to grab our hoppers, and at the back of these double chests, we want to place hoppers facing into these chests. We now want to place hoppers facing into these hoppers on the left and the right, directly behind this obsidian. So start by placing 2 hoppers on the left side facing into this hopper. Then place 3 more hoppers on the right side facing into the right side hopper. So you now want to put away your obsidian and your hoppers just for now and grab your dirt and your deep slate bricks. You want to come 1 diagonal block out from the hoppers and place a temporary dirt block. Then on top of that dirt block, you want to place your deep slate brick. From that deep slate brick on the right side, you want to come out a further 3 blocks. Now on the right hand side, you want to come out a further 4 blocks, making it a total of 5. You can then fill that all in. You can now remove this temporary block and then skip a block and then place another line of 5 of deep slate bricks. You can then grab your redstone torches and place 2 redstone torches on either side. On top of each of those redstone torches, you want to place sticky pistons facing upwards. Just like this. This next step involves our temporary blocks and our normal pistons. So we want to start by building a 2x3 platform in the same place we placed our sticky pistons on both sides. On the very top 2 blocks of dirt on both sides, we want to place a piston facing in towards these other sticky pistons. You can then remove your temporary blocks. Grab your temporary blocks and place a block directly below one of the normal pistons. Then place 2 more deep slate bricks out from that. You can then bring these 4 blocks more across. You can also then remove this temporary block. This next step involves some temporary blocks, some redstone repeaters, and some redstone dust. So start by placing a temporary block right here so you can get up. Then behind each of these pistons, we want to place a repeater, including the middle one right here. Then behind those repeaters, we want to place some redstone dust. Now you want to remove this temporary block, and then you want to repeat the same process down below to what you did above. Except you want to set these repeaters to 4 ticks instead of 1. Then you can place your redstone behind it. We now want to grab our deep slate brick blocks and come to the middle of this 5 block area and build out a further 3 blocks. Then on the 2 end blocks, we want to come out a further 4 blocks to the left. So this should be a total of 5 blocks as you added 4 more to the end. And then you want to come to this very end block here and then place another deep slate brick block right there. We now want to come around to the right side and place 2 blocks out from the middle there and then 1 block on top of that. You then also want to swing all the way around to the redstone repeaters and then destroy these 2 blocks right here and replace them with deep slate and then place another deep slate brick block right there. We now want to grab our redstone repeaters, redstone dust and redstone torches as we're going to be placing our redstone. So now grab your redstone repeaters and place a repeater facing this way set to 1 tick and then turn to your right and place another repeater facing that way also set to 1 tick. You'll also want your lever and your comparator and you'll want to place your lever right on this singular end block right here, leaving it off. You can then place your comparator and right click it so the light comes on. Grab your redstone dust and then place redstone dust connecting all the way down to these repeaters. For the next step, you're going to need your redstone dust, so place 2 redstone on these 2 blocks. Then you'll want to grab your repeaters and place 3 repeaters on this side facing this way, set to 4 ticks. Then you'll want to come to the opposite side and then place repeaters facing this way, also set to 4 ticks. We now want to grab our redstone torches and you'll want to place a redstone torch on the back of this deep slate block. We now want to grab our temporary blocks and build up a few blocks to access the top of the redstone torch. You then want to place a building block on top of that redstone torch, followed up by a redstone torch on top of that block. You can then build up some more temporary blocks and place another building block on top of that redstone torch. Once you've done that, you can place another redstone torch on top of that, build up some more temporary blocks, and then place another building block on top of that. We now want to grab our deep slate brick stairs and place these stairs facing this way on top of these repeaters right here. With the remaining 5 deep slate brick stairs, we can place them facing in the same direction on top of these normal pistons. You can now come behind these stairs and place 3 glass in the middle. Now returning to this side, we want to place stone blocks on top of each sticky piston, and then in the middle we want to place a normal deep slate brick block. The next step involves some water, so we're going to make an infinite water source, and you can do this by placing a water bucket in a 3x1 hole to the left and the right. You can now continuously take water buckets from this point. So before we place our water, we need to make sure that it doesn't fall out and destroy our redstone. So we want to come to the opposite side of the redstone torches and place 3 blocks on this point right here. You can then bring these blocks 1 more block lower. You then want to build up some temporary blocks and place 3 more blocks on top of that. You can then come a few blocks to the left, place another building block there and another building block there. You can now remove your temporary blocks. You now want to grab your glass and come to the right side and place this piece of glass in front of this deep slate stair right here. You want to then place 2 pieces of glass beside it. Then you want to grab your temporary blocks, build up a few blocks and place 2 more blocks on top of those pieces of glass. You can now remove these temporary blocks and make your way over to this point. You can now start by placing a temporary block here and jumping up. Now that you're up here, you want to remove these 2 deep slate stairs and then you want to replace them by turning them into corner blocks by facing them into this corner, and as you can see, they turn into 2 corner blocks on both stairs. Just like this. So it is now time to place our water, and we're going to want to place water in all of these stairs right here. We do not want to place water in this row, just the front row. You can now cover up this entire row of water with glass. So we now want to jump down to this point and then place 2 deep slate blocks just like this. Beside these deep slate blocks, we want to place 4 blocks of stone on either side. In front of that stone on both sides, we want to place 4 moss blocks. Now grab your deep slate bricks again and place 2 more right here. You can then place a moss block on top of this block and then grab your dispenser and face it towards this moss block. If you want right now, you can fill this full of your bone meal. You can now grab your building blocks again, and behind this moss block, we want to place 4 more deep slate blocks. Then on the left and the right, we want to place 2 more deep slate bricks. We now want to jump down to the very bottom and look in here and place a building block in there, and right there. You can now grab your building blocks again and place a building block right here, and then to the left and the right, place pieces of glass. You can now put your bucket of lava on this deep slate block right here. For this step, you're going to want your obsidian and your dirt. So place a temporary block here with your dirt, place 2 obsidian, place a temporary block, and then place your 2 more obsidian, and then remove your temporary blocks. With your remaining hoppers, you want to place one on top of the dispenser, and then another one facing into that hopper, and then another one on top of that. So this hopper should be into the dispenser, this hopper should be into that hopper, and this hopper should be into that one. These can be all filled with bone meal if you have it lying around. You can now jump up and place a temporary block right there, and then grab your observer and simply just place it into that dirt so the redstone pulse of the observer is behind, facing into the hoppers. On top of that observer, place your slime block. You can now remove this temporary block. So we now want to grab our glass and start by creating a little bit of a perimeter around this area right here where the moss is going to be pushed into these chests so that we don't lose any when it gets pushed. So start by placing 3 glass right here, and then you can bring that 3 glass all the way towards the hopper. On the opposite side, we want to place 2 glass here and then 1 there. You can then bring this all the way towards the hoppers. Staying on the same side, place 2 temporary blocks and then 4 more glass. You can then remove the temporary blocks. You want to repeat that same process for the other side. So moving along to the front, we want to place glass so we can connect the sides with the front. Now with our 6 remaining glass, we want to pillar up with some temporary blocks, then skip 2 blocks and place 6 glass in a row from there. You can now remove your temporary blocks. So your inventory should be looking a lot more empty now, and the last thing we all need to do is just to place our redstone along here connecting up to that slime block. So you can grab your temporary blocks and make your way up to this block. From this block here, we want to build out a further 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that we have our total of 5 blocks, we want to place 4 redstone. At the end of that redstone, we want to place a repeater facing this way, set to 4 ticks. We now want to grab one of our last remaining sticky pistons, place a temporary block here, and then a sticky piston, and then you can remove that temporary block. You can then place a building block on that sticky piston. Make your way to the other side of that sticky piston and place a building block, and then build out 3 more blocks from there, making it a total of 4. Then place a repeater set to 1 tick and then 3 more redstone. Then to the left of that redstone, place 3 more blocks, making it a total of 4. We now have our 4 blocks, so place a repeater facing this way, set to 2 ticks and then 2 more redstone. You now want to grab your last sticky piston and place a block here and a block here, remove that middle block, jump down, and then place the sticky piston facing downwards and then remove that temporary block. So your redstone is now complete, which means we are ready to turn this farm on. So what you have to do to turn this farm on is simply flick this lever, and as you will see, the redstone will activate the water and the bone meal in the dispenser will continue to bone meal, and you will continue to pick up moss into your chests. So the one thing I always recommend with my farms is to light them up. So same thing with this farm, I recommend just placing some torches on the glass to keep this area lit up, and then just light around this area so no sneaky creepers come past and blow up your redstone. So we AFK'd this farm for a total of 1 hour, and as you can see, we are harvesting moss related blocks very regularly, and in 1 hour it produced a total of 2,790 moss. It also produced 1,224 moss carpet, 372 azalea, and 270 flowering azalea per hour. This farm took me less than 30 minutes to build, and it produced 2,700 moss per hour. This is a really easy moss farm for your Minecraft world. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you require further help with this farm, be sure to join my personal Discord and we will be sure to help you out. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.